Minister has to be retracted since he has no iota of truth.
Mr. Speaker, he addressed the House, the Speaker. He said it's the Speaker's free SHS. It is not yours. It is ours. Let us own it. We are never going back on that. If by that statement you are telling Ghanaians that when you come to power, you will withdraw free SHS, tell Ghanaians.
The implementation of free SHS policy in September this year was widely praised by parents across the country because of the financial burden it promises to take away from their shoulders. But the implementation has been fraught with a deluge of challenges. Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, in answering questions from MPs regarding the implementation of the policy, disclosed that government has given clearance for the employment of over 22,000 teachers.
The recruitment is ongoing, and I just answered the honorable member for Afutu's question that the recruitment has got nothing to do with free SHS. It's to replace retired teachers, it's to bring back those who are on sick leave without pay, is to fill gaps. They are not only for secondary schools, they are for even primary schools and kindergartens as well. So it is not my free SHS, which I love. It is our free SHS which you are benefiting from.
The minority were, however, not enthused about the claims of the Education Minister. They argued clearance was given by the former administration for the employment of the teachers. Speaking to the media after proceedings, Dr. Opoku-Prempeh downplayed the reported challenges bedeviling the free SHS policy. He, however, assured enough provision has been made in addressing the teething challenges which he argues were anticipated.
Till President Mahama left, not a single student had been given that scholarship. I said till President Mahama left, I'm speaking on authority, not one student. Remember, President Akufo-Addo was sworn in at the second term of the 2016-2017 academic year. True or false? The records are there. The facts speak for themselves. And not a single student in a secondary school out of the 100,000 had been awarded scholarship.
Former Deputy Education Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa argued the minister was economical with the truth in his submissions on the floor.
The Honorable Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, the Honorable Minister of Education, the year of Parliament, and then one can no credit. And you no credit progressively free. NDC by and GBB, and you no credit. And you no credit. Anka Oka said there was arrears because the last term there were arrears. Into no dear, mechanical credit say yentuanina there were arrears. But to say yantua caprepo, sir, or you see not a faden. Into a church say capre cra 1 peswa cra NDC abano entua and yano cra.
Now, away from Parliament, residents of Pantine, together with the Landlords Association of the community, have given the Ghana East Municipal Assembly a one-week ultimatum to decommission a landfill site located within the community. Residents clad in red demonstrated against the siting of the decomposing site, decrying it is harmful to their health. They marched to the Assembly in the early hours of Tuesday to present a petition to demand the removal of the site. Our reporter Dela Michelle was at that demonstration and filed this report.
Agitated residents of Pantan, Ashonman, and other communities located within the Ghana East and Ghana West Municipal Assembly expressed worry over what they describe as endless dialogue and reassurances from the Assembly concerning the removal of the landfill sites. They carried placards with inscriptions such as "We are dying," "Inmates of Pantan Hospital can't breathe," and many others to communicate their sentiments. Led by the chairman of the Pantan Landlords Association, the demonstrators gathered at the Ghana East Municipal Assembly in Abokobi in demand of a detailed action plan by the Assembly to address their challenges.
Municipal Chief Executive, Minister for Sanitation, Omunko president ho no kasa nimba na omuwa mantamu hanu yeah bra.
Municipal Coordinating Director of the Assembly, Joshua Adams Esihene, who met the residents on behalf of the Municipal Chief Executive, received a rousing uproar as residents refused to listen to what they termed sweet words for them. Action speaks louder than words.
As women, we cannot cook outside. You cannot even dry your fish, your kobe, whatever. You cannot dry it outside. We smell all these things with our children. See, this thing that they are telling us, all these excuses, is just a measure of dismissing us to go away. These things they are telling us will not solve this problem.
People are suffering. If you went to the hospital, if your child is sick, when you take it to hospital, they say, she is smoking. Because of the smoke is disturbing people there. So we are begging them. We're going to stop the refuse cars, to stop dumping from there and bring the dumps here, to come and dump the refuse here at the assembly. So we are giving them just 1 week alternative. If they don't stop it, then they will start breathing the boiler. They'll start breathing the boiler from now.
Chairman of the Pantan Landlords Association, Abraham Ajman Lincoln, told the news team that aside the stench suffered by residents from the landfill site, the security of residents is threatened as the site has become a hideout for robbers.
They go out there early dawn, they come with their motorbike, sometimes they push some cars, they hide on top of the boiler, and you cannot even climb there to chase them up. Just about 3 days ago, they arrested somebody in front of my house.
The Municipal Coordinating Director later received the petition and assured that measures will be put in place to address their complaint.
The Ministry of Sanitation has also taken it up themselves. So much engineer within the catchment area na enini hyehyɛ aban dia to kwan mu the message them say munya botre nyese mu concern no assembly no is not taking measures. The assembly, the government is also interested, is concerned about more issues.
Upon visiting the landfill site, we interestingly found squatters taking refuge there, despite the stench and health implications. The assembly started using the area as a small refuse dump in the early 1990s, but has gradually become a convenient location for dumping huge piles of refuse by many waste management companies across the city.
That's indeed a very sad one. Now, on November 7, 2012, this country witnessed another heartbreaking but preventable building collapse. If you're wondering, I am talking about the Achimota Melcom disaster that killed over a dozen people, with several others sustaining various degrees of injuries. Now, 5 years on after the disaster, building experts are warning of a possible repeat of such disasters, as the many mistakes that led to such disasters and others are still lingering on, with authorities still looking on. This is a report by William Evans Inkum.
Over a dozen lives were crushed under heavy concrete in the Melcom disaster that shook the country 5 years ago. It is arguably one of the Ghana's darkest days, aside the Nkrumah Circle fuel explosion and the May 9th stadium disaster. It was reported that on Wednesday, November 7, 2012, at 9 a.m., some staff of the Achimota branch of Melcom were having their routine morning prayers. But that will become the last period on earth for some of them. Between the hours of 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. on that fateful day, the cries of people trapped under huge debris and groping in darkness were heard from afar after the 6-story building collapsed. Many eyewitnesses stood defenseless as the rescue team moved into shape with reinforcement from Israel. After several frantic efforts, 14 of the victims could not make it outside the jaws of death. 5 years after that horrible experience, evidence of the collapse is still visible, as Kofi Nyakon, one of the few survivors, recounts that any time he visited the site, he recalls of the unpleasant memories of the disaster. He tells me all that one could hear on Wednesday, November 7, 2012 was wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Said Danane da na ya Nanya da ye ni jeda. If you said ye see any da a rehoya de ebai Ghana and can ye and ye watch motahasi. We saw beshe a nipa who kwachiri womwa e wo fie ha baby gina ya nenya de ya kono. Ye ti ya ni tree Edani bugu mu efiri soro esenke begu asiem ma nwusie kumo mfuturo ni ade abra ade no course na ni ana wote wo mu obia esun ane wo mu sun awrade gime na amanfo obia bompa ye se nipa wo mu no awrade nya den enso mu firi se edan eto asunum adwiri abegu mu a na ye se nyankopon kuto na betimi age wo mu
Just like it is done in the country every time a disaster occurs, the city authority and other stakeholders moved in to inspect other high-rise and new buildings, pulling down some and stopping contractors from working on others that had no permits. But that exercise did not last, and the Melcom building was not the last building to collapse, as many other buildings have collapsed, destroying several lives in the country. So going down memory lane, that is something victims or families of the deceased wouldn't want to remember. But in every adversity, there is an opportunity, and that is when we learn to avert future recurrence. 5 years after the Achimota Melcom was reduced to ground zero, the question we're asking, what have we learned from that?
Over the years, we've all been asking ourselves these same questions, whether we've learned anything from the disaster, from the way our developments are going and the history of collapse, even between the time that this building collapsed to date. I don't think that we have learned our lessons. There have been various collapse of buildings in Okboigono, New Boy Town, a 7-story structure collapsed. Quite recently, a church collapsed, and we are even more informed about the recent collapse of a school building that killed very young kids under 5. I don't think that we have learned our lesson.
Beyond this, the Institute of Architects believe the authorities can do better to change the face of building in Ghana.
We realize that because of the cost of land values, we are now building a lot of high-rises. These high-rises would require, by law, under the LI 1630, that the assemblies come to do what we call stage inspection under the section 10 of the LI 1630. Now, if you have somebody who has attended the polytechnics, for instance, or CCT stage 1 or 2, and these people do not have the capacity to come and inspect the drawings or the construction that is going on, it means that anybody at all can build anything. There is also the other part of the beyond the capacity, that whether we have even the number of workers who can actually monitor construction that is going on, which they call the development control. You know, if you go to an assembly, for instance, or any of these sub-metros, you see maybe 3 or 6 staff who are supposed to be going around inspecting these buildings. They come to site without drawings. They don't even know what to look out for. And so we need to be able to scale up the qualification of building inspectors, and even find ways of getting professionals at a very high level involved.
Adversity reveals genius, prosperity conceals, but the onus of responsibility lies on every Ghanaian.
Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says Ghana is on a path to modernization with the introduction of the DVLA's new smart card for driver's licenses and registration. Addressing a ceremony to officially outdoor the new driver's license at the head office of the DVLA in Accra, Dr. Bawumia said the amount of work invested into the development of the new smart card marks the beginning of a new era in license acquisition.
According to the DVLA, the new license makes use of the latest technology for secure identification and printing, and it could easily be integrated with other systems and has an improved guarantee for securing data and card. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Balmia charged the management and board of the DVLA to ensure that they continue to grow the innovation that they have introduced to the authority.
This new process that has been put in place in DVLA with these two smart cards, for the driver's license and the vehicle registration card. Once you've passed your test, if you opt for the premium service that they are offering you, you should get your driver's license in 1 day. And that is remarkable progress.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Driver Vehicle Licensing Authority, Kwesi Buzia, assured that the authority would deliver to Ghanaians the full complement of all the services they have outlined to offer.
DVLA celebrates the dawn of a new high-security driver's license and the digitization of all vehicle records, which enables the absolute link between owner and vehicle, as the new secure driver license creates the absolute identity of a certified driver. Essentially, the new direction of DVLA is an emphatic direction of our new strategic theme of people, process, and technology.
Printing of the license will not be outsourced, as the DVLA has now acquired its own printing machines for that purpose. According to the DVLA, as part of the rollout plan, holders of an expired license might have to wait until their licenses were due for replacement to apply for the new one. There would, however, be a gradual withdrawal of the PVC driving license from the system.
DVLA, Interior Minister, amongst others, formerly
Parliament for Salaga North, Alassane Mumun, is appealing for President Akufo-Addo's intervention in the provision of potable water to some thirsty communities in his constituency. This follows a GH1 news series, Portrait of the Countryside, which revealed how residents in the East Gonja district share dirty water with their animals.
The issue of water in the Salaga North constituency is a serious challenge, and it is good you were there during the just past dry season to see how people suffered in accessing even just surface water. They had to walk long distances, to even access streams and dams that had water. The challenge is that the constituency has a very low water table, and it is interesting to note that I was the DC Chief Executive for that district between 2009 to 2012, and so there were a lot of attempts to locate underground water, possibly boreholes, to be able to serve the people. But because of the low water table, we have done a lot of work and we're not getting water. This small water town system that has been put in place, in fact, it was just, I don't want to say it was a miracle, but even with that, the water table is still low, and they would have to pump, a full day before they can serve the community.
You're still watching GH Today News. My name is Sewa Amihe. We bring you business news after this. Now, in fulfillment of its promise to build the capacity of Ghanaians in the oil and gas industry, government has rolled out the Accelerated Oil and Gas Capacity Program to train locals to occupy strategic positions in the oil and gas industry. The Minister of Energy, Boakye Jako, who launched the program, said government is preparing to invest massively in the human capacity to fill up the skill set required in the oil and gas industry.
Since the discovery of oil in commercial quantities in the year 2007, Ghana has had to depend mainly on expatriate workers to man its oil and gas industry. 10 years on, after discovering oil in commercial quantities, Ghana has developed its fields, adding the Chineboa Inyura Intumi oil fields to the already developed Jubilee fields. The major challenge for government, however, is the development of the skill set of indigents to operate in the oil and gas industry to gradually take over the duties of the expatriates who have occupied sensitive positions in Ghana's oil and gas industry. It is for this reason that government has launched the Accelerated Oil and Gas Capacity Program to train workers in 4 thematic areas, which include technical, vocational, apprenticeship development and utilization. Minister of Energy Boakye Jako, who launched the program, said government is focusing on developing the capacities of educational institutions, public institutional development and small and medium-scale enterprises with the requisite skills in oil and gas training.
What history has taught us and the lessons we've learned from other successful oil and gas jurisdictions are that deliberate policies and programs have been put in place to ensure that nationals of these oil and gas economies take a full and active part in oil and gas activities. One of the surest ways of ensuring active Ghanaian participation in our oil and gas industry is to build the capacity of Ghanaians to take up the opportunities in the industry.
Acting Chief Executive Officer of the Petroleum Commission, Egbert Fable Jr., said the Petroleum Commission views the Accelerated Oil and Gas Capacity Programming as a critical pathway in government efforts to train and offer the youth opportunities to train in the upstream petroleum subsector.
Human resource capacity constraints have been identified in Ghana's local content law and policy as inhibiting factors of optimal local content development in Ghana. It is for this reason that the Petroleum Commission has made, and I quote, developing competitive local industry service providers and personnel in Ghana's upstream petroleum industry the theme for this year's local content conference.
The Accelerated Oil and Gas Program is designed to prepare applicants to take advantage of the massive opportunities that will be provided in the oil and gas sector with the discovery of oil in commercial quantities.
Traders at the Mokola markets in Accra are lamenting over what they describe as an unprecedented slow pace of business as we approach the festive season. The traders say they are expecting a significant rise in their sales. Our reporter Joshua Ayura has more.
A visit to the Mokola market shows a very vibrant market. The market appears very much alive. There are countless display of goods ranging from clothes, second-hand items, shoes, accessories, kitchen and household items with a few or no buyers at all. Traders say ahead of the festive month of December, sales boom ahead of Christmas. However, traders here say sales have fallen sharply. Emmanuel Poku, who trades in children clothing, an item that cannot be ignored by parents, just like many traders, is anticipating significant sales.
With children's wear, the market starts really hot, as we can say, from November. And we're just hoping it will be the way it has always been. But for the past 2 months or 3 months ago, things haven't been so good.
There's more frustration among traders who deal in cosmetics. It's believed that such products among food are the most patronized in preparing for Christmas.
The market is slow. Nowadays, it's like this year, the Christmas is like late. That's what we have to say, because it starts from September. But as at now, the market is not still picking up. So we are hoping for the better.
The seemingly stifling condition has informed some of the petty traders to attribute it to partisanship. However, confectionaries and other traders appear to be cashing in on their items.
To me, the market in unyano finem sa, but a year. And as is as we are doors, the same market be with fee. Everywhere cast the chin. It's no dear Yamicha Mayano a year ye buy ye be. Mimi Sadoko dear and I see clean up. And so we're making more than best at 3,000.
All attempts to interact with them were thwarted by scores of customers thronging the shop. Most traders' sales will improve in the coming weeks.
And now to some international stories. U.S. President Donald Trump has issued a blunt warning to North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un in an address to South Korea's parliament. He said, "Do not underestimate us, do not try us," while also condemning the dark fantasy of life in the North. He addressed Mr. Kim saying, "The weapons you are acquiring are not making you safer," and urged other nations to join forces to stop Pyongyang. The U.S. leader is in South Korea as part of a 5-nation tour of Asia. Meanwhile, North Korea has responded to Donald Trump's speech, saying they don't care about what that mad dog may utter. Interesting. Let's go for our weather update now. And that's it for GH Today News. My name is Sewami here. Many thanks for watching. We're back at 11:30 with more news. Do stay tuned. But the king and queen are here to serve you breakfast from where I left off.
You know that one? Yesu Christa mayena dasame umayene ninje yasifwe munzi daw. All right, I think myself. Puerco, I knew that would follow. Good morning. All right, beautiful tune from your TV royals. Yeah, really Queen nice. B, King Cav. Do it again for me. Though we're not too sure the words. No, just do the tune again. You like it again? I loved it. Ta 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 ta. Da 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 Mama yene ninje Yasi fue Munzito En kwaji sama befie Wawa jinkwa Yesu Kristo ma Yena dasame Mama yene ninje Oh, you see, because we did it the second time. Now I'm remembering the words. If we do it the third time, you even do remix. I know. We'll wrap up with it, huh? It's so beautiful. I'll call my big brother and get the words. It's so beautiful. Yeah. It's so beautiful. Good to see you. Good to see you. Looking beautiful. Good morning. And you're looking so sunny bright this morning. Thank you very much. Sally? Sally style. Oh, that's a beautiful one. Of course, well, I'm rocking Beth Santi as well. One time. Fabrics from Sleek, Freak Fabrics. Guys, you need to hook up with these guys. And of course, beautiful hair from Agatha K, Shade Shoes Collections, Rick J's, all of you beautiful people watching us this morning. I just want to say that we are excited to be coming your way once again this morning. It's midweek already. Indeed, Wednesday. Oh my goodness. And today we're looking at the issue of water. W for Wednesday, W for water. And that's our big conversation on Hard Talk.
Of course, we've got your sports, we've got your news extra coming up on the show. Yesterday, I was doing my little reading before I went to sleep, and I found out that Ghanaians are spending so much on rice imports. And I thought of the question, if you couldn't eat rice again, what other staples would you rely on? Would it be cassava? Would it be corn? Would it be millet? Would it be yam? Would it be plantain? Let us know. The rice is plenty. It's plenty. Millions. I'll send the figure out pretty soon.
It's the easy way out. I mean,
easier.
Really.
We like you said in Ghana.
Look, you can just, you pour it in your rice cooker and you're gone. It's just that for me, I usually wouldn't use a rice cooker because I like my kanzo.
One time.
You know what I'm saying?
One time.
So I use the stove
and get the heat
and get the kanzo. Yeah. That's when I feel like I'm eating.
The minister has to be retracted since he has no iota of truth.
Mr. Speaker, he addressed the House, the Speaker. He said it's the Speaker's free SHS. It is not yours. It is ours. Let us own it. We are never going back on that. If by that statement you are telling Ghanaians that when you come to power, you will withdraw free SHS, tell Ghanaians.
The implementation of free SHS policy in September this year was widely praised by parents across the country because of the financial burden it promises to take away from their shoulders. But the implementation has been fraught with a deluge of challenges. Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, in answering questions from MPs regarding the implementation of the policy, disclosed that government has given clearance for the employment of over 22,000 teachers.
The recruitment is ongoing, and I just answered the honorable member for Afutu's question that the recruitment has got nothing to do with free SHS. It's to replace retired teachers, it's to bring back those who are on step leave without pay, is to fill gaps. They are not only for secondary schools, they are for even primary schools and kindergartens as well. So it is not my free SHS, which I love. It is our free SHS which you are benefiting from.
The minority were, however, not enthused about the claims of the education minister. They argued clearance was given by the former administration for the employment of the teachers. Speaking to the media after proceedings, Dr. Opoku-Prempeh downplayed the reported challenges bedeviling the free SHS policy. He, however, assured enough provision has been made in